Hey, what's up everybody? It's Coach Matt over here, Primal Athlete Training Center, www.primalatc.com. You know what guys, the last couple of videos that we put out have been fun. They've been a little bit of ranting and raving about different training principles and throwers not needing to run. You can see running sucks for throwers. No offense to my sprinters and distance runners that I work with here in the gym. But we want to get back to what we do. And what we do here is teaching athletes, coaching shot putters, coaching discus throwers, helping people from all around the world get better at their throwing events. All right, so today, guys, before all the ranting and raving, before I get my panties all in a bunch, as one viewer told me, basically what happened was we were talking about the Matt Wilkins 9 o'clock drop and the Brian Oldfield, sort of the J position, or the lazy J, as Brian called it. So I received a lot of questions on that 9 o'clock drop. Specifically, athletes that had issues keeping that foot at 9 o'clock as they started their drive, as they started to drive across that circle, as they started to drive down that circle. A lot of athletes were asking me, Coach Matt, having some issue because by the time my right foot gets all the way outside that circle, by the time my right foot gets low left and long, it gets outside that circle, this foot's already facing, my body's already facing down that circle. Why is this happening, number one? And number two, what can we do to kind of help solve this? What can we do to fix this? Well, there's a few things that you can do. First of all, the reason why this is happening, let's go over that. Kind of try to explain and solve and correct and teach you guys at the same time. We'll show you the first reason this way. So the first reason why this happens is that a lot of throwers, especially newer throwers or throwers that have not had a lot of coaching, don't understand that the right foot in the back of that circle, your power foot, your right foot for a right-handed thrower, left for a left-handed thrower, needs to be active. Now, what do we mean by active? Well, active means that you don't just pick the foot up and think it's magically going to fly out there and get in the right position. When we say active right foot, we want you to push off that circle. We want you to push off that cement. Like you're pushing a skateboard, you're actually actively pushing a skateboard, or like you're pedaling a bike. We want to see you actively grind that foot, push that foot, and as you get, like we've talked about before, low left and long, as you get low and left over and shift that weight onto that blocking foot, that pivoting foot, we want to see you actively push off the ground and boom, get your foot out there. Don't just pick it up and expect it to fly out there on its own. We want you to actively push, boom, push, actively push off the ground. Push off the ground. Push your foot. Work that foot, grind that foot, push the hip, push your body around, and get that foot out in the front of the circle. Get the foot out in the front of the circle. Push off the ground. Push off that right foot and actively move your right side around the left. Don't just pick the foot up and expect that it's going to fly out there magically on its own. So that's one thing that you can do. Start getting that right foot more active. The other thing that we see a lot of times when someone does not have that active right foot is that their legs get crisscrossed in the back of that circle. They won't pick the foot up in time, so they'll shift weight, shot, discus, whatever it is, they'll shift weight, and as they come around, you'll see that they'll start to peek. They'll start to look down the throwing area, and their foot won't come off the ground until it's way too late. At this point, if the foot's not off the ground, yes, your left foot will start to point down the throwing area. Your left foot will start to point where you're going, and you will not be pausing or stopping with that foot facing 9 o'clock. Now, the other thing has to deal with timing. Timing is, yes, very, very tricky. The best way to explain it, and the way that I found best in previous videos, is that in order to change direction you need to pause. You can't just change direction on the fly. You need to slow down, or you need to pause to change direction. And if you notice any videos, especially if you watch older videos from Mac Wilkins, Mac, when his foot hits 9 o'clock, there is a slight pause to allow that right leg and that right foot to get in the proper position before driving. So we'll show you from this angle. As they turn out of the back, you don't just push and continue that foot flying around. You want to have a slight pause at 9 o'clock. So you're here, 9 o'clock, boom, boom. Show you again. Here, 9 o'clock, boom, boom. So there's that pause. There's that slight little, boom, boom. Slight little pause. Tiny, teeny, tiny little pause with that foot at 9 o'clock to allow just the foot to just kind of get another foot or so in front to allow, boom, that drive to happen. So it's tricky. It's tough. It takes timing. It takes practice. It takes work. It's something that you're not going to get in just 1 or 2 days of training. This takes a long, long time. So guys, there's a couple of different reasons, a couple of things to help you out when you're starting in the back of either the rotational shot or the discus. Low, left, and long, which we've talked about plenty of times in these videos, but active right foot, actively push off the ground, squeeze your butt, push your right side around the left, and make sure you take that slight little pause when your left foot hits the 9 o'clock position to allow the right foot to come around and drive. Guys, hopefully this helps you out. We're getting back to what we do best, and that's coaching and helping you throw and hit more PRs. Track season around here started. A lot of my athletes started off their season with a lot of personal records, with a lot of big throws. Hopefully you did as well. If you need help, if there's something that's troubling you, if there's something that you or your coach don't know how to solve, make sure you email me at matt@primalatc.com. We'll get the question answered for you in a future video and have you throwing more PRs, have you throwing better, and hopefully moving yourself up the ranks in your division, in your conference, or in your state. Hope to hear from you soon.